Through the empty hallway of marble, the sign quickly disappeared, while Lumi and Deax Nox slowly walked through after exiting the purple portal. They looked quite surprised at the sight. They'd never expect such beauty. Lumi walked closer to the wall, smoothly gliding her hand over it. While Lumi was enamored with the wall, Deax Nox's eyes shot up, and his complexion grew paler. Lumi, what is that? Deax Nox stammered, sweat dripping onto his suit. Lumi curiously looked over, her cyan eyes catching what he was looking at. Nothing. Deax Nox, what are you staring at? Lumi asked, confusion plaguing her face. There's nothing there. Lumi took her hand off the golden beam, her petite footsteps etching closer to Deax Nox. Before she could reach Deax Nox, he responded, fear plaguing his voice. Can't you feel that intense aura? Hey, Deax, can you bend down for me? Lumi calmly asked, her voice as sweet as honey. Sure, Deax Nox replied, elegantly bowing down in front of Lumi. A soft hand was placed upon his head with a gentle voice following. It's going to be okay, you don't need to be scared. It's not real. It's just mana designed to feel and look like an aura. Lumi spoke. Slowly Deax Nox looked up, his mum appearing in view, causing a single tear to flow down his cheek, blinking several times. Before the vision faded, he met Lumi's gaze. Mum, muttered Deax Nox, while he looked into Lumi's eyes. He stood up and embraced Lumi in a hug. Thank you. You're welcome, Lumi gently replied while tightly hugging him back. It's been a while since I've gotten a hug. Hug. Yeah, I meant to do that, Deax Nox muttered to himself, his face red from embarrassment. Don't tell Uriel, please. I'll never hear the end of it. Sure, I won't tell him, Lumi answered with a slight giggle. Deax Nox looked to the end of the breathtaking hallway. His once accelerated breaths now slowed. He turned to Lumi once more before speaking calmly. Thank you. Let's continue. It would be embarrassing to miss my first ever banquet because I got scared. Yeah, let's continue, Lumi quickly replied. They continued to walk down the majestic hallway. The floors themselves seemed to repel sound, and the walls were polished to perfection and more expensive as the two continued deeper, from gold beams to platinum, to materials that housed universes. They took the final step at the end of the opulence halls, into the banquet itself. Instantly the air filled with a savory aroma and the chatter of gods. Deax Nox and Lumi were in wonder and the diverse appearances of gods. While some looked like monstrous masses of tentacles, others looked more like demons with their red skin and horns. Why are you surprised? I thought you've seen gods before, considering you are one. Deax Nox whispered to Lumi. I haven't seen gods like this before. Normally they look more human, Lumi whispered back. Haven't you encountered gods like this during your demigod hunting days? Neither have I, Deax Nox whispered back, while a man stood leaning against a wall, his purple eyes staring toward Lumi. The gods that once were entrenched in their food and conversations became silent, while they stared toward Deax Nox, before one of them walked up to him, staring in amazement. I didn't know they allowed humans in here. Nice to meet you, I'm Milon. She excitedly exclaimed. I'm lower ranked 10 of the gods. Hey Milon, are all the gods here lower ranked? Lumi curiously asked, while staring into Milon's red eyes. Wait, who are you? Cyan hair and eyes, Victorian clothes, weak aura. Milon muttered to herself. Oh, you're Lumi. I didn't expect the weakest god to show up. MS lower ranked one. Yes, there are only weaker gods here. You can't insult me like that. It's not like you are anything special, Lumi said, slight annoyance in her voice. Do you know where the host is? Hey, Orion, come look. The Lumi is trying to say we're on the same level as her. Milon shouted toward the rest of the gods. Gods were now focused on Lumi from the shouting, while others crowded around Deax Nox to learn more about him. Soon after, a god with pure white hair and golden eyes surrounding his near black face came up to Lumi. The god with purple eyes kept staring at Lumi, his interest now piqued. So Lumi, you think that just because we're lower ranked gods like you means we are on the same level? Because we are not. You are just some worthless cretin that shouldn't be a god, declared Orion, his golden eyes staring down at Lumi. Yeah, how can a god be weaker than a human? You don't deserve to live. If I were your parents, I would have ended you on the spot. Nobody so weak should be a god, Milan mockingly exclaimed, slapping Lumi in the face. Quickly falling to the floor, Lumi begins to cry, while Milan and Orion laugh at her. The sounds of heavy footsteps approached Lumi, and with a towering voice, this figure spoke, "Fuck off, Milan and Orion. Leave right now before I paint this room with your insides." Toldar spoke, his purple eyes glaring down at Lumi, before grabbing her by the neck. "Who are you?" Lumi spoke, barely getting words out. "Hey, Lumi, I've been hired to collect that sword from you. Now tell me where it is, or I'll butcher that friend of yours," Toldar arrogantly stated. Hearing the commotion, Dix Nox quickly pushed out of the horde of gods surrounding him. His footsteps were light as he ran toward Toldar, calling his pure black falchion into existence. He stabbed Toldar. However, Toldar remained unaffected, the edge of the blade pushing against his skin, as if it were steel. "What? Who are you?" Dix Nox asked, sweat pouring from his face, his grey eyes wide open. Toldar's purple eyes stared right into Dix Nox's soul, and in a cold, callous tone, he declared, "Me? I am Toldar, god of arrogance, and the one who will remove your soul from that measly vessel." Dix Nox stared intently at Toldar, looking for any weaknesses, but before he could do anything, Toldar reached out toward him. Dix Nox stared at this humanoid god, quickly reaching his arm out. Suddenly, Toldar's arm gets cut off in a sickening squirting sound, and a figure wearing pure gold armor stands between them, Toldar still holding Lumi's neck. "What does the measly security want with me? I'm the great Toldar. You can't stop me," Toldar declared, his arm instantly growing back. "What? That can't be possible. Nothing should be that powerful. This measly security has more power than I can comprehend. That shouldn't be possible," Dix Nox worriedly thought to himself, while the armored individual stared down Toldar. "Toldar, I was invited by the host of this event, and I will fulfill the favor I promised them. Now stand down. I don't want to use force," General politely asked, bowing down slightly, "but I won't hesitate to use it if you force me." Toldar's black hair blew around from the manner exuding from General, as he let go of Lumi, her weak body looking up toward General. Quickly, Toldar lunged at General, fast enough that everyone appeared to be frozen in time. He balled up his fist, and he hurled it toward General's head. The punch inched closer, and closer, to his head. Swiftly and elegantly, General weaved to the right, dodging the punch, sending his own toward Toldar's chest, and his face. General turned around, and kneeled in front of Lumi, comforting her, as Toldar shot backwards, slamming into the expensive wall, as the gods looked between them. "Hello, Lumi. I hope you're okay. I'm very sorry I didn't help sooner. I was having a conversation with my master, and he didn't allow me to assist," General softly muttered. "I do hope you can forgive me." The walls around Toldar began regenerating themselves, while Toldar remained unconscious on the floor. Dix Nox looked panicked at General, and Lumi's body was weak and injured.